It means a lot to me. I mean, I last year when we played them, I was not expecting it to be as fun as what it was, and just like how the gym felt and how big the rivalry actually was. But after we left the match last year, we were like, wow, that was so much fun. Like, yeah, so I kind of have that to look back on, and that's why I'm super excited about it for Wednesday. But yeah, it was super fun last year.
What made it fun?
I would just say feeling like the whole state of Nebraska was there. Like we get that feeling at Devaney, but they're all our fans. So just knowing that it's like Nebraska versus Nebraska kind of. And yeah, it's just super fun kind of being not that far away from home, and the CHI building's huge. So yeah.
What have you seen from Creighton that they do well?
They have great hitters. We haven't watched film on them yet, but just from what I know is that they have really great hitters, and they're pretty scrappy as well. And yeah, they run a great offense, so we're gonna have to defensively be pretty good.
Are you excited to see Tyler again on Saturday? Can I catch up with him and Cali, I guess? Too?
Yeah,
Too.
yeah, I'm super excited. I haven't seen Callie since like May, and we haven't seen Tyler since March, I want to say. So I'm super excited. And Tyler built a lot of what we had last year with just his presence and who he is as a human. So I don't know, just that emotional connection that he has with all of the players is super strong. So we're really excited to see him.
Kenzie, you're 2 weeks into the season. What have you learned about this team and what this season could look like?
Yeah, this team is super close. We say it every year, but this team is really close, and we have a ton of skills and a lot of depth on this team, which is nice. Like we've been running a 6-2, so we've got to play all of our outsides and all of our pins. But yeah, we have a lot of depth and a lot of skill and a lot of differences between our offense as well. And so we're kind of just figuring that out right now. But I think it'll be really helpful long term to know that we have so many options. Like right now we have all three setters setting sometimes and all of our pins, so we know what they can bring in a game like situation, and being able to see that for a long-term presence is really beneficial.
How have you managed that, knowing that you guys have changed your lineup multiple times?
Yeah.
You know, coaches continue to ask players to do just the various different things throughout the season.
Yeah. Our team has just really talked about like communicating more and just being there for one another, and everything looks different when we are like playing different people, but at the end of the day it's like it's honestly really beneficial just because we have three setters that can set and we have five pins that can hit, and we've never had depth like that before, so it's a good thing.
One of those different twists, I think, is when the other team starts to serve, you're in the front row. Do you enjoy that opportunity?
Yeah, it is super fun, and we do it to save a sub, but I say we do it so I can hit front row one rotation. Coach always says, as long as I do this, you better get a kill. But
Kenzie, the captain, what have you been telling the freshmen going into Creighton playing in a much bigger arena?
yeah, our freshmen have so much skill, so it's not even that. It's not even like, oh, you need to bring this. It's more of like a, how do we have productive huddles? Like how do we like stay like mentality wise, like stay in the game? How do we fight back when like these things are thrown at us? So it's more of like mentality things that I would say that we're working on, and not even just with the freshmen, as a team in general. Just when you have a new team right out of the gate, it's really beneficial to get to know each other and like know how each other plays and what we need on the court versus off the court. So I think just working on mentality and how we're going to have productive huddles, productive communication, things like that.
Kenzie, how important is it a game test like this against Creighton, considering that you're trying to implement a 6-2 offense?
Yeah, it's really important just to see. This is kind of like a baseline of like how we do and like what we need to work on and things that like we already have that might be one of our strengths. And I think Creighton's a really good match for that because they're really good competition physically, but also just the rivalry that we have between them.
Does it help to be able to be, they moved the game to THI, don't mind us for the Final Four. Does it help being in an arena multiple times and just get that gain that familiarity? And what other ways might it help to be in an arena before you play in it again?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say playing in a big arena like that, if you're not used to it or if you haven't seen it, it can play a factor in how your team plays. And just like the intimidation factor, also just the like depth perception, I would say too. If you're normally playing in a smaller gym and then you go into a huge arena, your depth perception is going to be very different, serving wise, setting wise, and you're trying to push balls out there. So it's very beneficial. And I would say it's the same for when we play at Devaney. If you have a team that normally doesn't play in front of that many people or in that big of an arena and they come here, they're a lot more intimidated. And at the beginning, it might be slower for them to pick up their pace. So I would say it's really beneficial.
Is there a difference between Devaney and one of the bigger arenas?
I would say so, yeah. Just I don't know. That's a hard question for me just because everyone's like, there was 8,000 people at your game and Devaney was so loud. But for me, I don't know why. Like I just like, it's like tunnel vision a little bit. Like I can hear them and I can hear their presence, but I don't like, I don't know. I don't feel something different. So I think there's a difference between those big arenas and Devaney for sure.
More questions for Kenzie? All right, thank you.
Thank you.